Hi everybody. I'm going to make a video for you tonight again. I had a little bit better of a day today with my headaches, even though I kind of had just a little bit of a headache today, but it wasn't real bad. Although this morning it was a little bit. I kept putting off doing a couple things I needed to do. And then I finally just kind of started to feel a little bit better. I have chronic headaches, you guys, a lot. And I have neck problems and back problems, and I have allergy and sinus problems really bad. I used to take allergy shots for many years, and then we moved away from where we were so close to the hospital that did the allergy shots, and it just became too much of a burden to drive. Gosh, you guys. I think that must have been about half an hour or maybe 45 minutes away from here, depending on the traffic. Maybe a little longer if the traffic was heavy. And that was really a hassle. I wish I had kept it up, though, because it really did help my allergies. And now we just live still so far from where I used to get them at. And, it makes me sad because sometimes I really wish that we lived closer to where I used to get those allergy shots at. That was just such a good thing. You guys, when I got those over the years, they helped me so much with the headaches. But there's places you go to. I've gone to another place to get allergy shots over the years, here and there. It was a little bit closer than the hospital. But their shots never seemed to help me as much. I don't know what the difference was, but there had to have been some kind of difference. Maybe in the way that their shots were made up. I don't know. But so I haven't done that for a couple of years, and I really needed to do it again. But it is kind of a hassle. You gotta go a couple times a week at first, and then you've got to go a couple times a month. Some people can go just once a month, but then some people kind of need to go a couple times a month to keep the medicine from the shots. I wouldn't say medicine, just the serum that's in the shots to keep it in their system a little bit. And I got so tired tonight, you guys. I don't know why, but I get tired really early. I kind of get up early, maybe that's part of it. But I think as you get older and you're in your 40s, you just get so wiped out easily. And there's so many people that find that out when they hit their 40s, that their energy level just isn't what it used to be. And I hate that, but that's just kind of how it is. I think some people are really lucky, you guys, and they age really well. There's some people that into their 60s or 70s that they're still going really strong, and they're still energetic, and they're still full of life, and they feel pretty good. And then you guys, there's people that they just didn't age as well, and they're like me. When they hit their 40s, they just don't feel very good, and maybe they have more health issues going on, and they're in a lot more pain with their body, with arthritis and stuff like that. And it just sucks getting older, you guys. I mean, I'm grateful I'm here another day, but it's really hard when you start getting older because your body hurts you so much at different times. And I on top of all that, I get migraines really bad, at least a couple times a month. And I usually get them for a day or two. If it's really a bad migraine, maybe 3 days. And it's just so hard, you guys. It really is. And what was I going to talk about tonight? I just had a lot on my mind about that aunt that I was telling you about, that I kind of grew up around her and we lived with her so much growing up, you guys. It's unreal. And, as sad as it was, growing up and living with her, it was really hard. But as hard as it was, I should say, that was about the only time in my life that we really had stability. Because you guys, my mom just was so unstable with so many things in her life. Her and a couple of her sisters, especially the one sister, and this one sister passed away a few months after she did. And her and that one sister liked to go and do illegal stuff, and that's how they lived and survived. And I hated it, you guys, so bad. But anyhow, her life wasn't stable. Always moving around. Always, oh, you guys should come up with the stupidest ideas that you ever heard of. I'm not kidding you. To do all kinds, I don't want to really say all the illegal stuff she did and had that she wanted to do. It just made me sick. It was so stupid. And any extra money she made, you guys, she never got to save it or keep it. It's like the devil, saw the money she was making and just reached in and took it from her. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but when people do illegal things to make money, the devil just, he takes the money back from them. It may not happen all at once, but eventually it will happen. And it just, you guys, it's not worth it to do illegal stuff. It's not. When the devil is done playing games with whichever person it is, that's doing the stuff, they'll end up flat broke, out on the street, or in jail, or dead. A lot of times, you guys, these people that do illegal things, they end up dead. And I'm not kidding. I know a lot of people think, oh, you're just being dramatic. But I'm really not. When you watch some of these cold case files, the one, not the, there was one that was like a, what am I trying to think of, like a, I want to say a TV series, and it was fake. I think they found fake veins and they'd make up an episode. I don't mean that kind of show. I mean the real deal. They used to, a few years back, they had something called Cold Case Files, and they had real cases that they would talk about. And Forensic Files, that was another one. And they would talk about different things that had happened, like maybe there was some people involved in something illegal, some way to get money. And there would be a fight or some other problem, and one of them would kill the other one, or on and on and on it went, you guys. You see all these really sad stories of like strippers and prostitutes, and they end up dead, and then you just see other things, people involved in drugs or in something else, and they end up getting killed, by people that they thought they could trust, or they get snitched on and then they go to jail for most of their life. Or they have a partner come and just steal them blind. They'll come and just steal all of the whatever it is they're selling or doing, take their money, hit them in the head, leave them laying for dead somewhere. You guys, it happens so often. And it's like people just give their very lives, just to do something illegal and really dumb that they think, oh, we're going to make such a good profit from. And it never happens, you guys. They're never able to break the cycle of poverty. It's like they get money together to go do this or that, buy drugs, or, do something illegal. And at the end of the day, they're not even breaking even, and that's the story with so many people, you guys, doing illegal stuff to live. They don't even make enough money to barely cover their rent, and they're back in the same, back to square one. Here they are broke or close to it. They don't know what to do, and blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on. They never survive at it for very long. Very few people doing illegal stuff prosper ever, you guys. Very few. Depending on what it is, you might know some person that did this one thing or that one thing. But you guys, so many of them pay so dearly. They end up getting hit in the head. They almost get killed. Something happens, you guys. And it's just not worth it. And so, when I used to watch my mom and her sisters do this illegal stuff when they, were young, well, even when they weren't just young, even when they were a bit older, I was just sickened because I just thought it's never ending. They're never going to make enough money to just completely change their life, to start over, or do whatever they're trying to do. It's just not going to happen. And I used to fight with them, you guys, and argue, and I'd say, you gotta go get a job. You can't live like this anymore. You've gotta change your life. And it did no good. They would just fight with me and argue. And you guys, it just did no good. They were so sold out to the devil, that they just couldn't even understand what I was talking about anymore. They were like, well, we've done this thing so many years now. We're not going to change now. And it was really sad, there was times they did get caught, but, they were very lucky that different situations played out where usually they didn't have to do any time. Maybe they had to pay a fine or blah, blah, blah. Although my mom's one sister did have to do a couple years in jail at one point. But it didn't change them. It didn't wake them up. They never got to the point of saying, we've got to change our life. This is getting us nowhere. You know, we're going around and around in a circle, you know, where you take 10 steps backwards and maybe one step forward, and it's just not doing any good. And so, you know, that's so sad, you guys, to see people living their life like that, where they're just getting nowhere and just trying to do all this illegal stuff to live. Anyways, you know, back to, well, before I switch subjects, you know, my mom, and I do know the one sister with her, did not make it to heaven. God has showed me that a couple different times. And I don't know, you guys, if any, to be honest with you, if any of my mom's family made it to heaven. They were such backslidden people, and they were Catholic in name only. They never went to a Catholic church or anything else. And, you know, they had all these different statues of idols and stuff in their house, which is not good. And you guys, they had no desire to obey God and to change any part of their life at all. You know, and if I tried to, like I said, I would talk to them about it, and it just made them really mad, you know, and that was a hard situation, but that's the life they chose. And, you know, and my mom's family was so messed up, all of them, that you guys, them, and her parents too, were messed up like that. That I don't think any of them made it to heaven, and nearly all of her family, but her two sisters, the rest have passed away. She had a lot of brothers and sisters at one time, and just the two are left. And you guys, neither of them is right with God. You know, they're the same. They're Catholic in name only. They don't go to any churches at all. And they don't read the Bible. They have no interest in the Lord. You know, which is really sad, you guys, because they're so lost. And it's so sad. I don't know if any of my mom's family, you guys, if any of them are going to make it to heaven when they pass away, because they're so screwed up. The way they act and the way they live their life, and they're so judgmental about other people, you guys. It's horrible. They just don't even care about other people at all. You know, and the Lord was showing me that my one aunt, she's younger than the other sister. See, there's just two of them left. I think the other sister is in her maybe late 70s or early 80s. And then my one aunt that lives close to me is probably, I don't know, maybe in her late 60s. Maybe. But the Lord was showing me the younger sister is going to be the one to pass away first. And He showed me over and over that she's just not right with Him. She doesn't want to repent. She doesn't want to give her life to God. She don't care anything about it, you guys. And it's sad because there's times that I've gone over to talk to her about stuff, and she just gets mad. You know, she doesn't want to go to a church, and she doesn't want to have a Bible around to read. She wants nothing to do with God, you guys, at all. And that's really sad. And that's how the other sister is that way too. That whole family was like that. And that's just really sad, you guys. I mean, I'm praying the blood for them every day. and for their last moments, that God can help them, because I don't want to see them in hell. But, that might be where they're headed. And, my other two sisters, they were raised that same way. And they're not right with God, you guys. They have no interest in Christianity at all. I'm not so certain they even believe that God exists. I don't know what they believe. And those two are probably going to go to the same place if they don't repent, and I don't think they will, you guys. I mean, I'm praying for them. But nobody can force another person to want to be a godly person, you know? But I do pray for them, and if you guys have family that's lost, just pray the blood for them every day and for their last moments. You guys don't give up praying for them and caring about them, even if they're not a part of your life, in order to save your sanity. Sometimes you have to back away, but that doesn't mean you can't keep praying for them. The ones that are just so violent and they're on drugs or alcohol, those are the ones you've really got to stay back from. It saddens me to say that, But if they're violent and you're afraid of them, or you're just exhausted from dealing with them, just keep praying to God to get them somewhere to get help. And He'll do it. It might be they have to go to jail a while to dry out. We never know. But the Lord will take care of it, and He'll put them in situations at different times, if you pray on it, where maybe, sorry you guys, I'm starting to get so tired I'm yawning. But what I'm trying to say is God will put people in positions where others might be able to help them, but you do have to pray on it, and pray for God to take over different situations that are out of your hands, because you guys, that's been the case with most of my family, honestly, most of my life. So many of them were on drugs or liquor or some other problem, and they always wanted to fight and, get everyone else upset. And you can just give it to God and ask Him to take the situation out of your hands that you're having such a hard time struggling with. And God knows what to do to help others, you guys. He knows what to do. And you just have to trust Him and ask Him. If you're having a hard time trusting in God, ask Him, say, Lord, give me strength and give me help to trust in You. Help build up my faith in You, Lord, and He'll do it. You guys, I'm getting so tired. Just know that God loves you, and He loves the people in your family that are screwed up too. I'll talk to you later, you guys. Have a good night.